You had there, starting with swine flu, well, saying it's a cause for concern but not panic. That's after the World Health Organization says a pandemic is imminent. It raised its alert to phase 5 this morning, the second highest level.
All countries should immediately now activate their pandemic preparedness plans. Countries should remain on high alert for unusual outbreaks of influenza-like illness and severe pneumonia.
Swine flu claimed its first victim outside Mexico yesterday, a Mexican child in Texas. U.S. cases have jumped to 91 from 64 the previous day. The toll is highest in Mexico, where 159 people have died and 2,500 are sick. Cases have also been confirmed in Canada, Britain, Israel, New Zealand and Spain. Several countries, including Japan, are calling for travel restrictions. Malaysia asked the WHO to bar all sick people from leaving Mexico. South Korea yesterday joined China, Indonesia and the Philippines in restricting pork product imports from the U.S., while reports say Egypt has ordered the immediate slaughter of all pigs. Now, the World Health Organization, as we said, raises its alert level for the swine flu again. It's now at level 5 of the 6-tier alert system, indicating what the WHO describes as an imminent pandemic. At least 9 countries and 11 U.S. states have confirmed cases of the swine flu. Let's get the latest from our health reporter, Seaman Bennett, who's here with me in Singapore. Now, the threat of a pandemic has risen compared to just days ago. Question is, how severe this pandemic can turn out to be?
We still don't know, that's the zillion-dollar question that everybody is asking around the world. So far, the only fatalities, well, until late yesterday, the only fatalities we'd seen had been in Mexico. Now we've got this toddler who very sadly has died in the US. But apart from that, all of the cases that we've seen have been pretty mild. And so the question that epidemiologists, who are the people who track this disease, are asking is, well, you know, is what we're seeing in Mexico a sign that there is a more severe strain of this thing out there, or are we just seeing that there's a small pocket of severe cases and everybody else is pretty mild? So even if there is a pandemic, is it something to get hot under the collar about? Is it going to cause a lot of deaths? We still don't know, and that's what the WHO is working on.
But what now? Is there a pandemic plan? What should the WHO and the global community be doing right now?
Well, governments around the world have been preparing pandemic plans over the last few years, certainly since SARS and especially with H5N1 avian flu breaking out a few years ago. And so a lot of countries are actually much better prepared now than they were for SARS a few years ago, and they've started putting those pandemic plans into place, and we're seeing that around the world and certainly here in Asia as well. People deploying, you know, drug stockpiles, face masks, people putting their pandemic plans into play. And so it remains to be seen how effective those plans are, of course, but certainly governments are much better prepared than they were for SARS.
Hi, I'm Dr. Joe Brzee with CDC's Influenza Division. I'm here to speak with you today about the symptoms of swine flu infections and what to do if you get sick. Since March 2009, persons with infection caused by a new strain of swine flu virus have been identified in the U.S. and other countries. It's important that people recognize the symptoms of swine flu and seek medical care if necessary. For many years, we've known that swine flu occasionally infects humans, so we know the typical symptoms of swine flu. Symptoms are similar to the symptoms of regular human flu and can include fever, cough, sore throat, body aches, headache, chills, or fatigue. Some people with swine flu have also reported diarrhea or vomiting. In the past, severe illness, such as pneumonia or respiratory failure, as well as death, has been reported with swine flu infections in people. Like seasonal flu, swine flu may cause a worsening of underlying chronic medical conditions. If you live in an area where swine flu infections have been reported, and if you become ill with flu-like symptoms, you may want to contact your healthcare provider, particularly if you're worried about your symptoms. Your healthcare provider will determine whether swine flu testing or treatment is needed. If you become ill and experience any of the following warning signs, get emergency medical care. In children, emergency warning signs that need urgent medical attention include fast breathing or trouble breathing, bluish skin color, not drinking enough fluids, not waking up or not interacting, being so irritable that the child does not want to be held, fever with a rash or flu-like symptoms that improve but then return with fever or worse cough. In adults, emergency warning signs that need urgent medical attention include difficulty breathing or shortness of breath, pain or pressure in the chest or abdomen, sudden dizziness, confusion, or severe or persistent vomiting. People with swine flu can infect others and could be contagious as long as they are symptomatic, and possibly for up to 7 days following the onset of illness. Children, especially younger children, might potentially be contagious for longer periods. Fortunately, there are medicines that can be used to treat swine flu. Antiviral drugs are prescription medicines, such as pills, liquids, or an inhaler, that fight against the flu by keeping flu viruses from reproducing in your body. If you get sick, antiviral drugs can make your illness milder and can make you feel better faster. They may also prevent serious flu complications. For treatment, antiviral drugs work best if started within 2 days of symptoms.
It has crossed 2 continents. It has got to be dealt with by international agreements, and that's why the World Health Organization's new designation of swine flu is important for all of us so that we can take the action that is necessary. I do believe that it will make countries more prepared, not just for this, but for future potential problems that arise from diseases that can spread throughout the world. So we are all vigilant, we are all alert, we're all aware that people have fears about swine flu at the moment, and we're all aware that there is action that we can take and will take to make sure that these fears are allayed.